Not all situations are used to destroy us. Self-sacrifice is the highest form of sacrifice you can make. 2025 was the worst year of my life. Hey YouTube, I'm Tavin, but you guys can call me T. Sorry if I sound sick, or sorry if I sound that way. I'm kind of sick right now, so just be patient with me. A lot of times bad stuff happen to us, or stuff happen to us, and we perceive it as negative, and it completely ruins our day or our week or a month, or some of us our year. But for those things, we should change our perception of it. Instead of looking at it as a negative situation, we change our perspective and say, yo, what is this teaching me? What can I learn from this? And the moment you change your perception is the moment you start growing. If you look at it as it's teaching you something, you are going to learn something from it. But if you look at it as a negative aspect, it will keep you grounded, it will keep you angry, depressed, sad, insecure, whichever. It will keep you on the base level. But the moment you decide to change your perception and even look at it as a good situation, because a lot of negative things turn out to be good in the long run. Let me give you something. When I turned 18 in Jamaica, I moved to Canada. I didn't know anything about finance. I didn't know anything about tax. And I moved here to Canada. No one taught me about tax. No one taught me about finances. All I heard was, oh, you need to pay it. And when I asked people to help me pay it or show me how to, they'll say, oh, when tax season come around, I'll help you, I'll show you. When tax season finally come around, no one would show me, no one would help me. And eventually I decided that, yo, I'll do it on my own. And after years of me basically stressing about it, I actually decided to learn and do it on my own. And you know, the funny thing is, what if I did learn to pay my taxes back then and got my tax refund when I was more immature and less goal oriented and less purpose driven? What would I have done with my tax return back then? And now that I have finally done it and I've matured mentally and physically, I have a better understanding about the world, better understanding about my dreams and my purpose, what I want to achieve in life. And all of that money come back, and it is a significant amount of money. I'm using that to put towards my goal, to put towards buying my first car, cash straight up. But when I looked at that situation in the past, I always looked at it as a bad thing. But now that I have grown and become more wiser, I look at it as something that was actually beneficial. Because if I did learn how to pay it back then, I would have wasted the money. Our next situation, 2025, the start of the year, I was in a breakup. That was the biggest negative. That was like one of the biggest depressive seasons for me. And it was not because of the breakup. It was because all of my friends that I had basically switched up. I was left alone to deal with everything. And I used the rest of the year to kind of focus on myself. Broke up January, like the second day of January. And I used the rest of the year to build myself into the person who I am today. If it weren't for that, if it weren't for the breakup, my friends switching up, I would not have a foundation to stand up on. My discipline would not have a foundation to stand up on. 2025, during that year, I would have said it was the worst year. I have a video up on my channel saying 2025 was the worst year of my life, or something along that line. And me now can safely say, yo, 2025 was a really beneficial year for me. It was a really impactful year because it helped me to focus on myself. It helped me to sit with myself, work on insecurities, think about goals and my future, find my purpose and what I wanted to do with life. But put me back in that situation, take me from that situation and ask me how it was, I would probably tell you it's the worst thing. I remember days I was crying, bro. I remember days I couldn't sleep, and I still don't like sleeping on my back because it feels like, you know, when your heart's dropping. I hate that feeling. And when you're going through a heartbreak, times that by 2, bro, times that by 2, it's one of the worst feelings. And because of 2025, I've become such a disciplined person. I've become such a goal-oriented person. I've become a person who would rather sacrifice himself for the greater good of his family. Check me back in 2024, I would have never done that. Check me in 2024, I would rather seek pleasure and comfort over pain and growth. And me now would rather choose pain and growth over pleasure and comfort. The me now works 16 to 18 hours a day, still comes home to work out, or if I don't work out at home, I still find myself at the gym putting in a 1 to 2 hours, still reading 5 to 10 pages, still meditating for 6 minutes, still recording a video, still editing a video. And if it wasn't for 2025, if it wasn't for one of the most worst years, as my past self would say, I would not be here right now. I would not telling people, I would not be coaching people, I would not be helping people. And even though I have not made such a major impact, I've still got people commenting and saying, yo, they needed this is helping them, this was beneficial to them. And me seeing that actually pushes me to keep going, because a lot of times I see my subs, I see the views, I see everything, and was like, yo, I've been up for days. There was nights I only sleep for 2 hours, 1 hour. Why am I even doing this? But seeing the interaction pushing me, it is actually helping me. I can look at it as a negative aspect, or look at it in a negative way, saying, oh, my sub's not going up. It's been weeks, it's been months that I'm at 60 whatever, and it's not going up. Let me stop. I can look at it in a negative way, or I can change my perception and look at it in a positive way and say I need to grow, I need to develop more and become a better content creator, a better motivational speaker in order for my subs to grow. Not all situations are used to destroy us. God normally uses the bad situation as we perceive it to build our characters. Look at Joseph. His brothers left him for dead. His brothers sold him into slavery. That is a bad situation. Potiphar's wife actually told lie on him and he got thrown in prison. That was a bad situation. And when he fortune tell, or when he interpret the dreams for both those men, they left him in prison. They forgot about him. And all of those events, all of those situations, I know he looked at it as bad, but he still trusted and believed in God. And at the end of the day, he became the prime minister of Egypt. He was higher than Pharaoh, or he was higher than whoever was in command. And that helped him to help his family. And if it weren't for that, although the people of Israel went on to be in turmoil, bad relationship with Egypt, they still had a good season. They still had a good harvest because of Joseph. And it was because of that bad event that helped him to become that person he was ordained to be. Helped him to become the person that God ordained and God designed him to be. Not all bad situations, or not all situations, you should look at it as a negative way. You should look at it as, what is it teaching you? How can you grow from it? How can you develop into a better person? Let me give you something else from the Bible. If Jesus didn't go on the cross, we would not have this relationship we have with God now. Our relationship with God would still be strained. Although back then it might have seemed like a defeat. He was killed, he was crucified on the cross, but he rose again after 3 days. He rose up after 3 days. And that formed the relationship that we have with God now, an open relationship where we can go to God and confess our sins. We can turn to God for mercy, because Jesus decided to become the sacrificial lamb. Jesus decided to sacrifice himself. And the next thing I'm going to give you, self-sacrifice is the highest form of sacrifice you can make, because it shows yourself, it shows others, and it shows God that you're willing to give up something of yourself to reach a higher vantage point, to achieve something greater. And I don't just mean like give up your body part or give up your life. I mean give up your time. Yo bro, I used to waste time watching Netflix and playing games. I don't play games anymore. Only time I watch Netflix are on days when I don't have anything to do and it's my day off. When I finish my pour list and it's my day off. When you decide to sacrifice going out and partying to actually lock in and build a relationship with God, stuff like that is self-sacrifice. Giving up stuff you love to do, but it's also detrimental. or so that you can become the person that you're supposed to be. And that's also discipline. Discipline isn't just giving up things that you shouldn't be doing. It's also giving up things that you... Discipline isn't just giving up things that you want to do, but it's also doing things that you don't want to do. That's what discipline is, and that's what self-sacrifice is. And consistency is showing up each and every day, even though it might be a bad day, even though you might be tired, you might be drained, you still show up. Might not be with the same amount of intensity, because really and truly no one can produce 100% intensity each and every day, but showing up each and every day and putting in the work, you're becoming a better version of yourself. You're growing into the person God ordained you to be. But yo, not all situations or not all circumstances that happen to us, we should perceive it as negative. Some of it is teaching us, some of it is helping us to become a better person. Change your perception of it from a negative aspect or a negative circumstances to a positive circumstances, and you will see how much you grow. But that's the video for the day. Peace.